Out of the last 8 of the Psalms ascribed to David, the middle 4, Psalms 140 to 143, share a frame of mind in common. They all reflect a similar tone of lament, suggesting similar circumstances. The psalmist is in trouble. Although they're ascribed to David, the language suggests it is from after the exile, for there are words that are found only in these psalms. The psalmist, it seems, is taking the experience of David as a representation of some trouble that he finds himself in, although we can never quite be certain what that is. The psalmist seems to be drawing from the experience of the time of Saul's pursuit of David or the rebellion of Absalom. And he knows that the experience of a good and godly man, David, being attacked and challenged by people of ill intent, is a universal experience of good people that the psalmist finds echoed in his own life, just as it is echoed in the lives of all God's righteous, and even of the Messiah himself. The prayers and the experience of David are therefore the prayers and the experience of all God's people. Well, the author of Psalm 140 portrays himself as being beset by ruthless slanderers who are most likely false accusers. Although he doesn't outline the trumped-up charges, they must have been very serious. He is in real trouble from the plotting of violent men and from their venomous tongues. He prays that God will guard him and punish them, in the confident knowledge that God is for what is right and steadfast in his opposition to evil. The Davidic concept of my enemies being God's enemies continues from Psalms 138 and 139 into this psalm. So the psalmist is confident in his petition, and he does not fear God's judgment. Psalm 140. For the director of music, a psalm of David. Rescue me, Lord, from evildoers. Protect me from the violent, who devise evil plans in their hearts and stir up war every day. They make their tongues as sharp as a serpent's. The poison of vipers is on their lips. Keep me safe, Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Protect me from the violent, who devise ways to trip my feet. The arrogant have hidden a snare for me. They have spread out the cords of their net and have set traps for me along my path. I say to the Lord, you are my God. Hear, Lord, my cry for mercy. Sovereign Lord, my strong deliverer, you shield my head in the day of battle. Do not grant the wicked their desires, Lord. Do not let their plans succeed. Those who surround me proudly rear their heads. May the mischief of their lips engulf them. May burning coals fall on them. May they be thrown into the fire, into miry pits never to rise. May slanderers not be established in the land. May disaster hunt down the violent. I know that the Lord secures justice for the poor and upholds the cause of the needy. Surely the righteous will praise your name, and the upright will live in your presence. It seems that, just like David, adversity in life has kept the psalmist close to God. It was the troubles in David's life that kept him close to God and thus kept his heart in tune with the will of God. The psalmist knows that when hearts are far from God, that they produce evil which breaks out in words and action. In fact, David strayed from God only when life was comfortable and easy. We will tomorrow explore that a little more deeply, but for now we can share the confidence of the psalmist that God rescues, preserves, listens to our prayers and provides justice for those who cannot secure it for themselves. Indeed, it is God's own actions on our behalf that produce confidence in him, and we see that more clearly even than the psalmist, for we have seen it in God's Messiah. A prayer. We know that troubles come from without, O Lord, in the troubles wrought by others. Thwart the wicked in their efforts and keep them from being dignified. Shield us from those who would harm us and assure us of your grace, for you are the God who loves us. So enable us to remain in your presence forever. Amen.